The Book of Disquiet by Fernando Pessoa, Section 209. To join in, or collaborate, or act with others is a metaphysically morbid impulse. The soul, conferred on the individual, shouldn't be lent out to its relations with others. The divine fact of existing shouldn't be surrendered to the satanic fact of coexisting. When I act with others, there's at least one thing I lose: acting alone. When I participate, although it seems that I'm expanding, I'm limiting myself. To associate is to die. Only my consciousness of myself is real for me. Other people are hazy phenomena in this consciousness, and it would be morbid to attribute very much reality to them. Children who want at all costs to have their way are closest to God, for they want to exist. As adults, our life is reduced to giving alms to others and receiving them in return. We squander our personalities in orgies of coexistence. Every spoken word double-crosses us. The only tolerable form of communication is the written word, since it isn't a stone in a bridge between souls, but a ray of light between stars. To explain is to disbelieve. Every philosophy is a diplomacy dressed up as eternity. Like diplomacy, it has no real substance, existing not in its own right, but completely and utterly on behalf of some objective. The only noble destiny for a writer who publishes is to be denied a celebrity he deserves. But the truly noble destiny belongs to the writer who doesn't publish. Not who doesn't write, for then he wouldn't be a writer. I mean, the writer in whose nature it is to write, but whose spiritual temperament prevents him from showing what he writes. To write is to objectify dreams, to create an outer world as a material reward of our nature as creators. To publish is to give this outer world to others, but what for? If the outer world common to us and to them is the real outer world, the one made of visible and tangible matter, what do others have to do with the universe that's in me? Section 210. Aesthetics of discouragement. To publish, the socialization of oneself, a vile necessity, but still not a real act, since it's the publisher who makes money, the printer who produces. It at least has the merit of being incoherent. When a man reaches the age of lucidity, one of his main concerns is to actively and thoughtfully shape himself into the shape and likeness of his ideal. Since inertia is the ideal that best embodies the logic of our soul's aristocratic attitude vis-a-vis the bustle and clamor of the modern world, our ideal should be the inert, the inactive, the futile, perhaps, but this will only trouble those who feel attracted to futility. 211. Enthusiasm is a vulgarity. To give expression to enthusiasm is, above all, to violate the right of our insincerity. We never know when we're sincere. Perhaps we never are. And even if we're sincere about something today, tomorrow we may be sincere about its complete opposite. I myself have never had convictions. I've always had impressions. I could never have a land in which I'd seen a scandalous sunset. We externalize impressions, not so much because we have them, but to convince ourselves we do. Section 212. To have opinions is to sell out to yourself. To have no opinion is to exist. To have every opinion is to be a poet. Section 213. Everything slips away from me. My whole life, my memories, my imagination, and it all contains my personality. It all slips away. I constantly feel that I was someone different, that a different I felt, that a different I thought. I'm watching a play with a different, unfamiliar setting. And what I'm watching is me. In the commonplace clutter of my literary drawers, I sometimes find things I wrote 10 or 15 years ago, or longer. And many of them seem to be written by a stranger. I can't recognize the voice as my own, but who wrote them if not me? I felt those things, but in what seems to be another life, one from which I've now awoken, as if from someone else's sleep. I often come across pages I wrote in my youth when I was 17 or 20, and some of them reveal an expressive power I can't remember having back then. There are certain phrases and sentences written in the wake of my adolescence that seem like the product of the person I am now. With all that I've learned in the intervening years, I see I'm the same as what I was. And since in general I feel that I've greatly progressed from what I was, I wonder where the progress is if back then I was the same as now. There's a mystery here that discredits and disturbs me. Just the other day I was bowled over by a short piece I wrote ages ago. I'm quite certain that the special care I take with language goes back only a few years, but in one of my drawers I found this much older piece of writing in which that same care was clearly evident. I must not have known myself at all back then. How did I develop into what I already was? How have I come to know the I that I never knew back then? And everything becomes a confusing labyrinth where I stray in myself, away from myself. I let my mind wander, and I'm sure that what I'm writing I've already written. I remember. And I ask the one in me who presumes to exist if in the platonism of sensations there might not be another, less vertical ammonempsis, another pre-existing life that we vaguely remember but that belongs only to this life. My God, my God, who am I watching? How many am I? Who is I? What is this gap between me and myself?